I have seen some really bad teachers in my time as a teacher trainer. In this video, I'm going to share some stories to help you avoid those bad situations. Hi everyone, and welcome back to ELT Breakfast. My name is Marcus. I'm an English teacher and English teacher trainer. And in my 20 years experience working with teachers all over the world, both in class and online, I've seen some perfect examples of things to avoid. So in this video, I would like to share some of those with you so that hopefully you can avoid making those same mistakes. The first one, I was browsing some of my competitors on a marketplace online for teachers of languages. I'm not going to name names, but I saw so many teacher profiles where the teacher was introduced themselves on webcam, and behind them they had their bed. Now, I'm not sure about you, but how would you feel if students saw your bedroom? For me, it's crossing the line. It's not very professional as an English language teacher or teacher of any other languages. If you don't have space in your house and you have to use the bedroom, then turn the camera around. Possibly find an empty wall like I'm doing right now. Don't let students see the intimate side of you. And speaking of that, the other day I noticed a teacher profile or teacher advertising one-to-one private lessons for face-to-face lessons in the local community where I am on a dating app. I could not believe my eyes. On Grindr, this particular example was from, but imagine using Grindr or Tinder to advertise private English lessons. You're only really going to attract one type of student. Now, that may be okay for some, but at the end of the day, again, it's not very professional and you're not really going to make much of a career out of that. Or maybe you will, who knows. And probably one of the most common bad habits, let's call it, that I have seen teachers, both new teachers and experienced teachers, classroom teachers and online teachers make, is that they just can't stop talking. They go on and on and on and on about some personal life story or recent holiday. I observed a teacher doing this in class, and I noticed when I looked at the students, I saw a few hands going up, but the teacher didn't stop. The teacher continued talking. Now, you've got students with their hands up, clearly wanting to speak, wanting to ask a question. I would love to see so many students that eager to practice their English and to ask questions. They're obviously engaged, they're interested in the topic. For goodness sake, let them ask their question. Engage the student. It's a perfect opportunity. Don't let that slide. Okay, so we've got this sort of a balance to make. On one hand, we want to share our personal stories or a little bit of our private lives with our students in the hope that they'll do the same with us so that we can get to know each other and find out interest from the students so that we can tailor our lessons closely to their interests and needs. But as I said earlier, there are limits to this. We shouldn't be really sharing anything that's too personal, because there would be an expectation then that the students would do that themselves. So if you are going to share your private, personal, or let's say sex life, there's going to be some students who think then that's going to be expected of them as well. So do draw your line somewhere. We all have a different limit to what we feel comfortable with, and of course we obviously have to also bear in mind those limits of our students as well. So a personal story in class is perfectly fine. If students are raising their hands, they're interested. They either want to share with you a similar story or they want to find out a little bit more about your particular anecdote.